I'm Brittany Lewis with Forbes Breaking News. Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers spoke at the Wisconsin Democratic Party convention over the weekend. During his remarks, he labeled the Supreme Court's ruling to overturn Roe v. Wade as, quote, a huge step backward in this country. Polling consistently shows most Americans broadly support legal access to abortion, though many are in favor of restricting it further into pregnancy. Listen in for more from the Wisconsin governor.
Party leader and volunteer in this room. You all do the hard work. You're the reasons I'm here today. Obviously, I want to thank our party chair, Ben Wickler, for everything he's done to grow our party into a national model of what's possible. We are also so fortunate to have Jason Ray serving as Secretary of the DNC and helping build the progressive infrastructure that is so important across this country. I'd also like to recognize my friend, you just heard her, Senator Tammy Baldwin. She has one of the toughest jobs in Washington, and as you all know, our other senator would rather look out for himself instead of advocate for our state. It is time we give Senator Baldwin a real partner in the Senate, and we will do that this year. And we've also heard from our outstanding members of Congress tonight. Gwen Moore and Mark Pocan have been such valuable partners. We need more people like them in Congress. And of course, I have to recognize Ron Kine, not only because we're here in the great city of La Crosse, a city that he has done so much for, but because this is his last convention as a member of Congress, thanks to his leadership, countless of small businesses, farmers, and families have a brighter future ahead of them in western Wisconsin. While his voice in Congress is going to be sorely missed, his legacy as a pragmatic and selfless leader is one that we're all very proud of. Thank you so much. But I'm also confident we are going to keep his seat and that the 3rd District will have a member of Congress they can be proud of. And of course, I have to thank my best friend and forever junior prom date, Kathy Evers. Thank you, Kathy. I wouldn't be here without you. Thank you for being here tonight and everything you've done for me and the state of Wisconsin, Kathy. I'm here tonight proudly running for re-election. Re-election. But as we gather tonight, I'm acutely aware of the weight of this moment and what's at stake for the future of our state if we're not successful. Yesterday, we took a huge step backward in this country as the Supreme Court ruled that politicians can insert themselves into deeply personal decisions about reproductive health. These decisions obviously should be made between a woman and her doctor, family, and faith. Now these decisions are being dictated by partisan politicians. Just this week, we tried to overturn Wisconsin's archaic 1849 criminal abortion ban, a ban that has zero exceptions for rape or incest, and only a narrow and confusing exception for the life of a mother. Republicans in the legislature refuse to act. And in fact, every Republican running against me supports this law or even wants to take it further. I don't think that a law that was written before the Civil War or before women secured the right to vote should be used to dictate these intimate decisions on reproductive health, period. And I've been proud to veto bill after bill that would have taken us backward on reproductive health, and you have my promise that I will do anything in my power to protect abortion access in Wisconsin, and we will always fight for reproductive freedom, period. There is so much at stake in 2022, and we know what will happen if we aren't successful. That's why we have to win. Pretty simple. My opponents are already running a scorched earth campaign to divide our state. We don't have to imagine what they'll do if they're in office because they've already told us. Rebecca Clayfish has said she wants to hire mercenaries to work her campaign and uses violent language threatening election officials, and the policies she supports are even more radical. Meanwhile, it's pretty clear that Tim Michels hasn't spent much time in Wisconsin since he last ran for office in 2004. He's sticking by the same radical positions he held then. He wants to get rid of marriage equality and take away a woman's right to choose. But unlike 20 years ago, he'll now tell Donald Trump whatever it takes to keep his endorsement. The Republican primary is a race who can be the loudest, the most divisive, and the most radical candidate. To put it simply, Wisconsin deserves better. Now look, even though I'm wearing my orange tie, I know I'm not the flashiest guy in the room. Because of that, sometimes people underestimate me. Just ask Scott Walker about that. Just ask Scott Walker about that. Yes. Who's that? Who is that? I believe in respect, compassion, and fairness. I believe in a common sense approach to leading our great state. I believe Wisconsin is at its strongest when we come together and when leaders focus on doing the right thing for everyone, regardless of their politics. Wisconsinites are sick and tired of the divisiveness, and quite frankly, so am I. That's a choice on the ballot this year. We can either go down a path where our communities are further divided and our rights are no longer guaranteed, or we can choose to keep doing the right thing for our state. While Republicans want to divide us, I'm focused on delivering results that matter. During my first term, we've brought common sense leadership and Wisconsin values to the governor's office. I worked with both parties to fund our K-12 schools at the highest level in nearly 2 decades and dedicated millions of dollars to our technical college and university systems. Folks, we've worked to fix our damn roads. With over 1,700 miles of roads and nearly 1,300 bridges already repaired, that's more than enough road to go from La Crosse to Nashville and back, if you wanted to do that. We're on our way to connecting 300,000 homes and businesses to high-speed internet access. We've supported small businesses and helped them grow. We've invested over $100 million in violence prevention and public safety efforts to help communities tackle the root causes of violence and keeping their neighborhoods safe. We're also helping working families get ahead. People are keeping more of their paychecks to help with the rising costs. We brought Republicans and Democrats together to cut income taxes for middle class by 15% for our working families. When we choose to get things done instead of playing political games, Wisconsin is stronger. We've achieved a historic budget surplus, record low unemployment, and more people working than ever before in the state's history. We've accomplished all this by focusing on issues that matter and stopping radical, dangerous, and divisive bills from becoming law. Playing goalie, folks. I vetoed several bills seeking to limit voting rights. I vetoed attempts to restrict access to critical health care, including reproductive care. And I vetoed bills that would make our state less safe, like allowing guns on school property. Get a load of that. That kind of divisive policy making will only endanger our schools and our kids and our teachers. There is no doubt that if someone else sits in my position, these bills will come back and they will become law next year. Wisconsin deserves better than that. That's why I'm running for re-election, because we have to continue to do the right thing. When it comes to our public schools, I'm proud of how far we've come. But these historic investments don't make up for years that public education was starved in our state. That's why we need to invest more into our schools so that we can focus on strategies like making sure that we're lowering class sizes by hiring and retaining more teachers instead of pushing them out of the school. Investing in special education and supporting mental health programs like our Get Kids initiative. You have my promise that I will always do what's right to make sure that Wisconsin public education system continues and remains to be one of the best in this country. Folks, we've also supported our technical college to expand programs that train students in high-demand fields and expand Wisconsin's workforce. I know college is a great choice, but it's not the best path for everyone. That's why job training and apprenticeship programs are so very important. I had an opportunity to visit a training center recently that had 8 classrooms and 4 training bays for hands-on learning. And it trains nearly 2,000 men and women annually in skills like concrete demolition, welding, and much more. That's an incredible opportunity, and we have to make sure that every kid knows about programs like this when they're growing up. We have to also do the right thing for small businesses, and I know we can make Wisconsin the small business powerhouse of the Midwest. And folks, this doesn't have to be complicated. One of the programs I'm most proud of is the Main Street Bounce Back program that has helped more than 4,500 small businesses open their doors or expand. We gave business owners $10,000 to make their vision a reality, as long as they filled an empty storefront. It has been a game changer for towns of all sizes. And I'll give you an example. I was recently in Medford, and they reminded me when I got there that there weren't many Democrats in town, and I get that. But the bottom line is this. I was visiting a business that received one of these grants and taken over a vacant storefront in Medford. And just as I was talking to the owner and she was telling me how successful she is, a group of other people walked in through the door. It was 15 people who had opened up 15 new businesses in the city of Medford, a city of 5,500 people. That changes a community almost overnight. These grants, no matter how small, meant a lot to our communities and to our local economies. It's programs like this that can really make the difference. This kind of thing we can accomplish when we're doing the right thing. Wisconsin is at its best when we connect the dots, and that's what we're doing. Whether it's job training programs, strong public school systems, quality health care, good infrastructure, affordable internet access, or clean water, we need all of these pieces to move our state in the right direction. That's not something that's possible if we have a governor more focused on radical policies or political division. That's why we are going to win. That's why we are going to win. But I cannot do it alone, folks. I'm counting on all of you in this room to stand with me when we organize, bring people together, and talk about the future. We want to build for our state. We win. And that's how we beat Scott Walker in 2018. That's how we're going to give Tammy Baldwin another Democratic U.S. Senate member. And that's how we're going to re-elect Josh Paul. That's how, when more, we're going to re-elect Mark Pocan and keep Ron Kine's seat in Democratic hands. And it's how we're going to elect more Democrats in the state legislature and offices up and down the ballot. I am counting on you, and you have my promise to always do the right thing for our state. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Holy mackerel. Thank you.